He is live this morning at the Capitol. Congressman, nice to see you this morning. Let me ask you first what you took away from that speech last night.
Well, first of all, let me just say I appreciated the fact that the president began his speech by talking about the budget, because we're just a little bit over 2 weeks away from sequester. Sequester was always meant to be a forcing function, to bring the parties together so that we can get a grand agreement that addresses a pro-growth policy and a fiscally responsible policy to get us back to a balanced budget. This is a challenge for us here. We had an amendment vote last week. It was based on the Simpson-Bowles framework, and we got 75 members in both parties to vote for it. I think this is really important because, we need to reach this grand agreement, and we need to expand those numbers. I appreciated the fact that the president began his speech that way. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in terms of leadership there. What I think would have been even more helpful is if he would have said, House of Representatives, bring up Simpson-Bowles, amend it, express your will. Senate, bring up Simpson-Bowles, amend it, express your will, go to conference, and then send me the bill and I'll sign it. I think that would have been, yeah, go ahead.
What's your best guess on sequestration? Is this going to happen? Are we going to see these automatic cuts, or will something happen in the intervening couple of weeks here?
Well, look, I prefer it not to happen. I voted for the bipartisan budget last year, Cooper-La Tourette, which was inspired by Simpson-Bowles, about 75% the same as Simpson-Bowles. And if we actually enact that, had we enacted it last year, we wouldn't even had a fiscal cliff. There wouldn't have been a requirement for sequester. So if we can build out these numbers, and I can tell you that some of my colleagues that are in no labels, they are supportive of this, and I think this is an important initiative, this no labels group, because it's Republicans, Democrats working together to solve problems.
And yet, Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina, over the weekend said the president, he already got his tax increase, but the president last night was talking about more revenue, which would be more taxes. How's that going to fly with not only Republicans, but some Democrats in the House?
Well, I think the whole conversation is miscast right now, because what we really need is a grand agreement that looks across the federal government. We need pro-growth policies. Comprehensive tax reform will help get Americans back to work. We also need structural changes, spending reductions. And what you're hearing right now from Graham and others are some of these incremental discussions. Even the president last night, I would have liked a bolder, broader discussion. So if you think about it, I mean, we've been fighting over the budget here really for the 2 years that I've been down in Washington. We need to get this done so that we can move on to other pressing issues like a 5-year transportation bill and a farm bill. These are the things that we need to first get the budget squared away so that we can move on to other pressing issues.
Congressman, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for joining us live from Washington. Chris Gibson, Republican.